Now I thought long and hard about this video, and I've seen a lot of questions about what is the best senior golfer upgrade. Well, I'll be honest with you, this could be far better. I say could be. It will be far better than upgrading your driver this year. We're going to be looking at these two golf clubs. The first one being the Cleveland Halo XL Fairway wood. Look at that beauty right here, and more specifically an 18-degree 5 wood. And also the Cleveland Halo XL High wood. Now I know this is going to look very similar, but these could be huge upgrades for your game. This is a 3+ and 17 degrees. So I realise there is 1 degree of difference. Now let me pull this up here. The reason why we're looking at this today is I've had a couple of questions in here from Alec Mitch 2081 about upgrading the best senior upgrade for a driver. I just think, forget driver. Think about how often you use your driver. You use it, I'm going to say 13, 14 times around. Whereas clubs like this, as we get older, we're more likely to use them, whether it's off the tee on a par 3, whether it's into majority of the par 4s, because simply we get shorter. So where do we go? Do we go and look at a fairway wood or a high wood? Let's put the comparison to the test. Now I know there is 1 degree difference in loft, but I've said this before, just because there's a difference in loft, there might be also differences in length of shaft. It's all about if you can find the centre more often. And we all know if you find the centre more often, what will happen? The ball will go further. You also want to look at these clubs as what gives you the most control. So I'm going to start off by let's get some ball speed numbers, 2 away with each. The 14th here at Mottram Hall, and the line is just in here. And I should have said this, these aren't just for senior golfers, because this is actually a perfect club to lay up into this spot. I mean, either would be absolutely spot on, I think. So what ball speed's the best, what club head speed's the best, but more importantly, what one is the most accurate in all these scenarios? Off the tee, off the fairway, out the rough. We need to know, don't we? We really do. Lay these on the ground, so they're actually sitting at the same length. And you can see here, this is the high wood here on the left. It's about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch shorter. White golf balls are going to be the high wood, and the green golf balls are going to be the fairway wood. So let's lay the gauntlet down. Let's start with the high wood here. And it's really interesting. This just sort of sits in terms of looks right between where a hybrid would be and a fairway wood. It's like an oversized hybrid, I guess. What's also interesting is, even though this shaft is shorter, that 1 degree loft is in favour of this club. It's at 17 degrees compared to the 5 wood at 18 and a slightly longer shaft. Shorter shaft, less loft. Could be a great combo, that. Okay, first one away. Oh, it goes high. I forgot how high it went. Oh, so if you're looking for launch, wow, that's going to be good. Okay, spot on for accuracy. Ball 1 down there. Holy crap! I wasn't expecting this. A 152.6 ball speed, 106 club head speed, and wait till you see this carry. That's like driver. Oh my! I found that out the middle, to be fair. Look at this. You can really see where I struck that, right out the middle. Tell you what, it's really laying the gauntlet down this club, hasn't it? It's really laid it down. Let's now hit one away with the fairway wood. This is the 5 wood, 1 degree more loft, but slightly longer shaft. Let's see what this flies like. That'll sit like a beaut as well. Exactly the same spot, maybe a little further left, but perfect for this line. Interesting, it's gone a little short of that. A 227 carry. Oh, ball speed's awesome. And club head speed is, well, a little bit higher. Look at these numbers right here. I'm starting to think, was that first one a little bit of a rogue? Well, it might have been. That's why we hit at least 2 in each scenario. So let's talk looks down behind the golf ball. We got to like the look of this club. It's got to look both inviting off the tee and out of the fairway. So have a look at this right here. You can see the sort of halo design, the classic look. It's a little more pronounced here on the right in the high wood than it is here in the fairway wood on the left. For me, I really like this little bit of detailing right here, sort of the hatching on the back, and that is present in both of these clubs. And in terms of technology, they both have the same face, a mainframe XL. And this is why I'm showing you these. There is a winner here that I think. I remember I've tested both of these individually, and I've already sort of thought which one I think is best. but based on that, it might have slightly changed. Okay, let's set another one here. Yeah, you know what? It does look like a hybrid, this Highwood. It's strange. I get the idea, I get the concept. It's that club that sort of sits right in that gap. It does look a little more boxy towards the front. You can definitely see the grooves on this face. It's like someone just squished that back half. Sound-wise, they're very tinny, high-pitched, like doingy, like tinny, yeah. Like a soft version of a ping, in my opinion. Right, let's hit this one away. Let's see if those numbers were a fluke. Again, look how high that's gone. Whew. That would stop onto a green. That really would. Okay, okay. Maybe I didn't get that one as good as the first. It's a little heavy, but 217 carry. That's a little bit of difference between them both, isn't it? In fact, you know, that's quite a lot of difference between them both. And as you're placing this down, it has a very traditional look to it. And here you go, you can see here in the light that halo area coming through there. We know it's an XL head, which makes it a little more forgiving, I guess. Well, no, definitely does. But yeah, very traditional. A lot of loft present on the face, which I think is confidence inspiring. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think 5-wood is a lot more of a versatile club for golfers. It's just so much more versatile, easier to launch, especially off the deck, which we are going to test as that next scenario. Okay, let's hit this one away. Oh, that was lovely. I think throw a blanket over those two. I really, really do. Look, I told you could. 228, 155.6 ball speed and a 105 club speed. This has definitely been more consistent, hasn't it? This has been higher. This has been more consistent. I do expect this to be higher purely because the shaft is longer. Now, that first one I hit with a Highwood was like a rocket. Like, it must have been right out of the screws. Granted, the second one wasn't as good. Let's go and find out where they've finished. It's also worth noting, you do get some really nice premium head covers. They're like nice inside, that leather look. And I know these look very similar. This is obviously the Highwood one. This is the normal one. Yeah, they're nice premium looking head covers, and they also, which I do like, have that ability to change it on the Fairway wood. Now, this is also a very, very good point to mention. Price point. I'm really interested to see how far that first Highwood went, by the way. I don't know how it went. Anyway, different point. I'm also interested about the price point because I know some of us, and I don't blame us, reluctant to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on new equipment. Well, for brand new, you can get these around the £220 mark. So I guess $230, $240. So a little bit cheaper. But I dare say, if you were to go secondhand, you could get them sub $200. So around the 150, 160 mark. And these have just come out this year. So they are new. It's new technology. But I just know that you'll be able to get these a lot cheaper. Okay, I can see some white golf balls and I can see some yellow golf balls. So look right here, this must have been the second I hit with the Highwood. And look down there in the shadows, that's where I hit the first one. Now just put into context, that's longer than these two over here, what I hit with the Fairway wood that's gone a little down that left. I mean, it's okay, it's not quite in the long stuff, but it's a little down the left in relation to that hole. So, after those first shots away, I need a drink, it's actually hot today. Not used to this. So after those first shots away, distance-wise on consistency, the Fairway wood definitely has it. But I did get that one that absolutely flew with the Highwood. Really, really interesting. Clubhead speeds are leaning a little bit more consistent also in the Fairway wood. But what I'm really bothered about is I think we're only going to use this a handful of times off the tee. Maybe if you're a lower handicapper that hits it a little further, you would use it a little more on holes and scenarios like this. But par threes, yes, again, we would use it. But we're going to use this majority of the time out the rough and out the fairway into long par fours and second shots on par fives. Collect these in and have a look. I also should have noted that the Highwood has been more accurate too there because they both hit the fairway, whereas the Fairway wood was down the left side. Right, let's move on to 15. Let's bring a bit of jeopardy into this and hit these over water. Which is this shot right here up the hill. I do need to get a yardage here because I don't want to blast it through the back. But equally, I wanted to see for accuracy where these finish in relation to this flag. Okay, 244 to the trees. That makes it sort of 225, 228 to the flag. Now, interestingly, I'm going to hit these out the rough because I'm very interested to see how this tech difference feels in terms of turf interaction, because we all know we're not the most accurate and we still want to be able to get this ball up on the green or as close to the green as we can. Let me show you these individually to begin with. This is the fairway wood, and you do have some slight rails here. They call them glide rails. Now, this middle piece is far less pronounced on this club, and also the side pieces are too than on the high wood. Look, this is a lot smaller, but thicker, more pronounced and wider. So in my eyes, this is going to play more like an iron out the turf, or I guess, yeah, more like an iron, which is what we want it to be like. Like, look at the difference here. Like, you can really see the difference in that. If I just tilt them down here, they're way more pronounced here on the high wood than on the fairway wood. Which comes back to that point of what is the best upgrade for a senior golfer? Well, think about where you're going to use this club the most. Right, the first one away out the rough here with the high wood. Oh, this is a juicy lie. Look at this. Look at that lie. That is juicy. This is where I also think the slightly shorter shaft will come into its own in this scenario. Okay, let's see how this flies. High wood first, turf interaction. I'm really sort of bothered about here. Do we still get it high launching and landing soft? Oh yeah, that is straight at it. That looks great. Back left of the green. I think that just caught a piece, you know. I do. It wasn't as high as it was off the tee, I have to say. But that shorter shaft and these glide rails did just feel like a long iron out of that thick rough. I like these. I like these. Now for sure, this feels a little less forgiving in this scenario. Longer shaft, even though it just has a bit more loft. Oh, it's on a little left. Flatter, a lot flatter. Oh, oh. Oh, I definitely feel like it snagged a little more, which is why it went a little left. To be honest, I was definitely a little more conscious of that, whether that was in my head or just a little bit of that lie. You do feel a little more comfortable. The shorter shaft, the thicker glide rails, just don't know, feels like you're gonna play it more like an iron. And I think this is one of the reasons why I'm favouring this golf club. Yes, I know we had that bit of a mad difference in distance on those. It could have been a rogue shot, whatever, right? But it's been more accurate, it's been straighter, and I do like the fact that it's been higher out of that first shot. Oh yeah, look at that. That's right half. That's on, 100%. Back half, back right, higher, wasn't it? That's even uphill. And the final one away here with the fairway wood out the rough. Oh, a bit out the heel. Again, it's just, it doesn't, I mean, it's gonna be on the green. A lot lower, even though it has more loft, just out of there. And I'll be honest, that can only be one thing. How this club interacts with that turf just isn't as favourable. Just isn't as favourable. And I'm walking onto this green and there's only white golf balls to be seen. The green ones, I don't know where they are, look. So here's the flag. Down there is where we hit from. There's a second one we hit with the high wood. And there is the first one. Like, that pitch just here and stopped in a very, very short space. And that's out the rough. And that is going back to that point of why I'm favouring this club right now. Because you're gonna not hit the fairway every single time off your tee shot. And you want this club to be high launching. You want it to be soft landing. Now, I will say this, the fairway wood still is relatively high launching. We're just comparing two different products here. And I think the hybrid with the shorter shaft and slightly stronger loft, it just plays more like an iron. So in that scenario right there, it just cuts through that turf much better. You know what's crazy? I couldn't find any of those green golf balls. Couldn't find any of them, so let's get a couple more out of here. Final scenario, I've got this back out, so let's get some ball speed numbers from the fairway. This is also a super important point to note. In my opinion, you've got the same amount of offset both here on the right hand side in the fairway wood and in the high wood. I would say, actually, looking at that there, I feel the high wood has a little more offset. So if you're someone who struggles missing it to the right, finds it hard to square the club face, this is going to come into its own. This one right here. I call it slightly heavy. That's going to be super interesting. Definitely a little bit turfy. Oh, but what a shot that was. What a shot that was. Like, look, come and look at this. And this is a prime example. Like, I'll be honest, my first immediate reaction was that I got that heavy. And look, this is the divot we just had. Ball was around here. We sort of brushed the turf a bit early. And we still hit an absolutely quality shot. Let's replay that again. That's like a tracer bullet. I'm going to say that's about 20 feet max. That pitch just short of pin high. 22 carry. Yeah, I'm starting to think that first one was a little bit of a rogue reading. And in terms of a fat hit, here we go. good club head speed, is a little bit slower, good ball speed. But overall, look at this, right? This is what I want you to always remember. The numbers could be great, but the ball flight and, how can I say this? The numbers could be great, but sometimes the ball and the club don't do what you want it to do in certain scenarios, like under pressure scenarios. Like that there, this is a high pressure shot, water short, out of bounds right, and I still managed to pull it off. Okay, let's go fairway wood now in the 5 wood, 18 degrees. In the exact same scenario, let's hit this one away and see where we finish right here. Beautiful hit that. Beautiful hit. Coming in now, left side of the green, bounce down the hill, finished on that hill I think I got the bounce. The club head speed was a little more, it was exactly, let me scan through this, it was a 104.3 and slightly more ball speed, just under 150. So yes, you do swing it quicker and you do get slightly more ball speed. Remember, I didn't feel like I got that high wood shot, but the ball still went straight and it still went on the green. I've made my conclusion here, and it's probably not what you think. Let me just show you where I've hit these. Searching, and I think I have just found it here, yeah. Back of the green, I mean, it's pretty much pitch and stop because it's a little bit wet back here. Oh, it's got full of mud on it. But really interestingly, and I say really interestingly, look where the high would finish. I thought it pitched just short of pin high, but it actually pitched past pin high right here. And look where it finished within the space of 1, 2, 2.5, 3 yards. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing, is it? And that's why for me, if you're a senior golfer or someone who lacks distance, that high wood is going to be a game changer. It's going to be confidence inspiring for 2 reasons. The shorter shaft, the stronger face, feels like you can be closer to the golf ball, but still produce good ball speed. And what I've seen is it can be a little bit of a weapon from the tee. And I found that in my first review of this club. But most importantly, in the scenarios out the rough, out the fairway, it has stopping power. And this is what I meant by it's not always what the numbers say. You definitely have to think, when are you more likely to use the club? What are you wanting the club for? They're both great products, but I just see this high wood as a club that really plugs a gap in terms of, right, we know we don't get on with longer irons. What's going to give us a little bit of help? What's going to help us get it higher? Stop it quicker. There's one winner there for me. And it's not looking at numbers today. It's looking at practicality of what club is better. Thanks for watching.